young men need to be single right now. And the reason why is because you need to actually ask yourself what your purpose is on this earth. What are you doing here? What do you want to do with your life? You need to have these main questions figured out. There's just certain things that you have to have figured out before you hop into a relationship. You don't have to have everything figured out, but you have to have some of the fundamentals figured out. So when a woman does walk into your life, when a queen walks into your life, you able to be the king, not only that she needs, but the king that you need in order to handle with all the stuff that you're going to have to handle. Having a woman is not an easy thing. Having a woman could be stressful if you're not ready for it. Having a woman in your life could make you go broke if you're not ready for it. Having a woman in your life could destroy your purpose if you pick the wrong one. So it's just important for you to understand the power that you have being single, the power that you have to change your life, the privilege that you are in when you just have to take care of yourself instead of rushing to be in somebody else's life or somebody be in your life and you have to take care of them and you have to deal with their emotions and everything that comes with being in a relationship. Now, I personally believe the pros outweigh the cons. You know, when you find the right one. I'm married, I got my wife, I'm straight, I'm good, bro. But you have to understand, I had to be ready. There's things that I had to learn. You have to understand that. You have to be able to bring something of wisdom to the table. You have to have a vision, and you have to be able to bring that vision into your relationship for where you want to see both of y'all grow and go together. One of the biggest things that I feel like is a lot of guys will ask me, how do I lead in my relationship? Now, I've made a video on it on this channel. I've also made a video on that topic on the couples channel with my wife and I. And it's important for you to learn how to be a leader before you lead someone. It's important for you to have a vision so your woman could trust you when it comes to making important decisions in y'all's relationship, in y'all's life. People think being in a relationship is just all about love. Love is gonna get you through the door. Having good looks is gonna get you through the door. Your girl having good looks, that could only get her through the door. But what about the character of who y'all are? What I'm saying is you have to work on your character right now. I'm not saying that you need a certain money amount. You know, it can't hurt. But I do think that you just have to build your character right now. You have to understand your purpose right now. You have to understand why you're here. You need a blueprint for your life before you go ahead and hop into a relationship. That's why I'm creating this video. That's why I created a book called The Purposeful Man Playbook. You know, it's out on Amazon. A lot of y'all already got it. I love y'all, appreciate y'all. But that's why y'all watching this video right now. Because I have to remind you of the importance of making sure that you're ready for the steps that you want to take. A lot of people want a lot out of life, but they're not ready for it. And then here's what happens, right? They get into a situation where they believe that they with their dream girl. And then, like the stories I told you about earlier with the guys that's asking me, how do I lead in a relationship? Their woman is saying, hey, you know, I don't really trust you to lead us. I don't really think you're a good leader for me, you know. I don't really want to be in a relationship with somebody that I can't trust leading me. So leadership is important. Having a vision is important. Having a structure in your life so when somebody comes in, you already have things going for yourself. You shouldn't be worried about no relationship if you don't have a task list, if you don't have things that you're doing on a daily basis to push yourself further. to build a relationship with God or whatever you believe. You feel what I'm saying? Like, just to have some sort of foundation, some sort of structure. What's your belief system? You know, what wakes you up in the morning? What's your reasoning for being here? What are you working towards? What's your goals? What's your dreams? What's your aspirations? And are you actually on a pathway to accomplishing those things? Because if you're not, you're going to make your woman the main goal. You're going to make your woman the main objective. You're going to make the woman the dream. And you can't do that. You have to understand, women love men who are able to just have something going on for themselves. You feel what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you don't have to be the most successful guy in the world. You don't have to have all the money in the world. You just have to have a vision, you know, and a good woman will love you for having a vision, some sort of structure in your life. And we have to be honest, right? Do you have vision? Do you have structure? Do you have substance to yourself? As a man, like, do you have substance? Can you hold deeper conversations? Like, intellectually, can you teach a woman something? Like, I'm teaching my wife content creation. You know, I'm teaching her all the things I know about what I do for a living, because I'm not a gatekeeper. You know, I want to see her be the best version of herself. Do you have anything that you can offer? You feel what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, she should have that. You know, she should have things that even she could teach you or show you, you know, just being there for you, caring for you, being a support system. But I just want y'all to have something of your own that you're working towards, that is truly your God-given purpose, before you go ahead and you hop into a relationship, or you hop into, you know, trying to talk to women. It's like, have you talked to yourself? What are you about? You trying to get to know somebody else, but you haven't even took the time to get to know who you are. That's what I find problematic in a world that moves so fast, in a world that just wants you to, you know, be with people, have interactions, you know what I'm saying? This very sexual driven world, you feel like you missing out. You ain't missing out on nothing. You just need to have your priorities right. You have to have your priorities in check. You know, I remember I was talking to one of my bros, shout out Q Came Up and coming YouTuber doing his thing. He said, this year I don't want no girlfriends. I'm just trying to really just work on my craft. And I was like, man, that's great. That's great. You know, sometimes you have to go through a period where you want to just know that you can accomplish great things in this world. You know, maybe it's 6 months, you give yourself a goal to attain it, and you just don't want any distractions or anything else other than the goal. There's nothing wrong with that. And if the right woman comes along, because he said that as well, he's like, you know, if the right woman comes along, I ain't against it. Of course not. You know, we'll see what's going on, but I'm not going to force it. I'm not looking for that. I'm just on my purpose right now. So I think it's important for you to set boundaries in your life so you can attain the goals that you have, especially as a young man. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be in a relationship at all. I'm not saying that if the right woman comes that you don't see what's going on with that. You know, I've known 11 years old. Yeah. So I know all about young love, and I'm not here to deter anyone from that at all. I'm actually a fan of that. I think that that's a good thing. If you can make that last, do that. If you're already in a relationship, stick to that. This is just for people who are single and young, and they're and you know, they're men, and they got the Tinder app and it ain't working. They got the Hinge app and it ain't working. They got the Christian Bumble Jumble app and it ain't working. They got the Christian Mingle app and it ain't working. They got the Black app and it ain't working. And you know, if something not working, it's because you need to put the work in, and you need to grind, and you need to be on your purpose, and you need to just focus on yourself. We always look without, but we don't look within. You know, you got to look within. And I just hope this message reaches the right people. You know, all I could do is create the video, you know, do my best to create a nice little thumbnail and title and just put it out into the world, and the rest do what it do. So if you found this video, it's not by mistake. You know, make sure you subscribe, I appreciate you watching, and just put your purpose first, man. Focus on your goals and dreams, and I truly believe everything will fall into place. I truly believe that. All right, peace.